So this is a demo for the software engineering project of Team 13 Code Crew, and we have built a software for hospital operational management in the healthcare sector, and we have three dashboards: patient, admin, and doctor. So first we log into the patient dashboard from the login screen. And here we have a beautiful dashboard for the patient where they can see their upcoming appointments, the available specialists in the hospital, their recent consultations in the hospital, and their recent IPD admissions in the hospital. Then they can go to the appointments tab and actually book an appointment with their desired doctor from this whatever specialization they require, and they can select a date and choose an available time slot and just click on confirm appointment, and the appointment has been booked. And they can also cancel their appointments from here, and this appointment is now cancelled. Then they can go to the My Records tab and actually view the entire history of all their OPD and IPD visits. So if they click on a tab, they can see the entire history that it was on this date, on this time, and the doctor consulted was Dr. Arvind, and the patient's complaints were headaches and nausea, and the diagnosis was dehydration, and the doctor advised them to take crocin medicine and glucose drink. So they can look at their complete record of all the consultations they had. And similarly with the IPD records, they can go and look at their IPD admissions records and see on what date they were admitted and their status and the diagnosis and their latest recorded vitals by the hospital and all the medications they were given during their stay at the hospital. So this is it for the patient dashboard. Now we will log into the doctor's dashboard. And here we have the dashboard for the doctor, and they can look at their upcoming appointments and the number of appointments they have completed. And so now these are the upcoming appointments for the doctor, and what they can do is essentially record the consultations and get structured notes of the consultation. So if I record this consultation, for example, and the patient is sitting in front of me, and I'll do a little role play of the doctor and patient. Hello doctor, so I have been facing a lot of nausea and headaches for the past few days. Okay, I think this is the case for dehydration, and you should start taking glucose tablets and vitamin tablets as well. Then I can just click on stop, and it will transcribe our voice recording and actually give us the entire transcription and structured notes in the form of JSON and actually put it in our database. And the moment this so the recording and consultation has been transcribed. So if we click on recent consultations, then we can actually look at the transcript and see that the complaints have been recorded successfully. The complaint was nausea and headaches, and the diagnosis was dehydration, and the clinical notes are to start taking glucose and vitamin tablets. So this functionality is really useful for the doctor. And the moment the doctor stops the recording consultation, the appointment actually gets shifted to the OPD visits table in our database. And then the doctor can also administer all the IPD admissions. So whoever patients are admitted, the doctor can look at them and he can manage their overall admission. So the doctor can actually input their vitals like BP and pulse and SpO2 and their temperature, and click on save vitals, and it will be updated here. And same for the progress note. So we can just write that the patient is healing well, and we can post the note and it will be updated here. And same for the medication. The doctor can update the medication that they are providing to the patient and just click on add medication, and the medication will be added to the list. So this is it for the doctor's dashboard. Now we will log in as in the admin dashboard. And so here is the full dedicated dashboard for the admin. On the dashboard, they can look at these metrics like appointments today, active doctors, the number of patients they have healed this month, and the average length of stay. And this is where they can look at all the IPD admissions. So they have 60 available beds and 4 are occupied. And this is the revenue for today via the OPD consultations. And the patient inflow over the past 7 days is listed here, and a few system alerts. And this also shows the status of our AI engine that I will demo further in this demo. Then we can look at the list of all the patients. So here we have total patients, however many are OPD, IPD, and however many are discharged. And this is the total list of all the patients. We can filter by only the OPD patients, or only the IPD patients, or only the discharged patients. Then we can go to the appointment. So this appointment tab actually helps the admin, like the receptionist or nurse, to actually book an appointment on behalf of a new person who is a walk-in customer who does not use our software. So they can create an appointment for them. They can put in their number, and here they can just basically create their account and book an appointment for them if they are a walk-in patient. And here we have a doctor schedule view. So if, for example, we want to look at the status or the schedule of a doctor, we can simply come here and look at the status. So on 17th of April, these many slots were booked out for Dr. Arvind, and these many are left. So this gives an overall view of the doctor's schedule in our hospital. The crowd control section actually helps us limit the number of patients in an hour. So this is a requirement requested by the hospital owner, that they face a lot of patients in some hours. So they actually want to limit the number of patients they are getting in those peak hours. So here they can just put in the number like 15. So if we update the limit as 15, then only 15 patients will be able to book a consultation within a certain hour. If it exceeds 15, it will not allow them to book the appointment. And here the admin can just see all the today's appointments, whatever are scheduled and whatever are cancelled or completed. And then we go to the admissions tab. Here we can see all the people who are admitted in the hospital, and we can manage them as well. It is the same functionality as the doctor. They can update their vitals, their progress notes, and the medications. But one extra feature that the admin has is that they can discharge the patient. This is a feature that the doctor does not have. And so they can just put in their final diagnosis that the patient is now healed, and they can type in some treatment summary, that whatever treatment they gave to the person and whatever reports they have. They can select the discharge date and the number of days they have prescribed the medicine to the patient after the discharge, and some diet instructions if they want to give, and they can click on confirm discharge, and the patient will be successfully discharged, and they will disappear from this list and appear in our discharged table. Okay, and they can also admit a new patient to the hospital from this tab right here. Just put in their phone number and just admit the patient based on whatever diagnosis they have done and the date. Then we have an AI feature, which is our SOP document, our SOP research feature, where the admin can actually view the SOPs, the standard operating procedures for whatever thing. So for example, for the standard operating procedures for admission, a hospital has a lot of SOPs like these. So they can just simply either view the PDF from here, or they can ask an AI chatbot, which is RAG based, which will actually find answers from these PDFs and give you the answer. So if I try to ask it, what is the SOP for admission? So it will actually retrieve from these docs and will not hallucinate or provide information that is wrong. It will only give information from these documents here. And so here we have the answer. So the SOP for patient admission process by nurse, verify the patient's identity. So we can actually cross-check the answer with the actual PDF. When the patient arrives for admission, the nurse will first verify the patient identity. So verify the patient's identity, escort the patient to the assigned bedroom. The nurse will then escort the patient to the assigned bedroom. So you basically get the point. This will only give the answer from these PDFs and not from anywhere else. This helps the hospital staff like nurse and ward boys to reduce their time of document search. Then from here, the admin has the privilege of adding new admins, so like new staff members like receptionists or nurses, or they can register a new doctor and put in their schedule. So for example, if a doctor is available from Monday to Friday, they can choose the days from here and their time slots and whatever their consultation slot duration is. And the billing and inventory features are just concept features, because we don't actually have the access to the billing and inventory system of the hospital. But this is a quick concept version of what it can look like, where it shows the total revenue, the consultations, and the pharmacy and lab revenue, and the pending collections they have. And it can show all the the transactions of the hospital. And similarly with the inventory, this is just so these two are just mock data. This is not the real data of the hospital, but this is how it can look. We can have all the medications and the stock quantity and the status, that if the stock is low or healthy or anything else, and the expiry date. And we can also add the medicine from here. So whatever medicine you want, you can add to the database. And even in the SOPs, you can upload whatever PDF you want, select the category of the document, and it will appear here. So if I just type in anything and select the category, upload, so the PDF will be shown here and updated automatically. So this is it for the hospital operational management software of Team 13 Code Crew. Thank you.